Greetings, Otamo.
You there! Listen to me, for this is urgent.
Listen, Warden, this is urgent and cannot wait. You may be one of those hole dwellers, but while you are here in Dingarth, you need to do what I say. I'm sure your chieftain would agree, so don't let me hear any complaint. Boy, is he a toughie.
King Isildur plans to return to Dingarth in order to inspect the defenses.
As the master of fortifications, the responsibility falls to me to ensure that the king is satisfied by the state of the defenses. But that is no easy task, for Dingarth was the first encampment we constructed after the Alliance pushed through the ruins of the gate, 7 years gone. It has been repeatedly assailed by the forces of Sauron and rebuilt anew following the worst of the assaults. Isildur rules Gondor with his brother Anarion at the behest of their father, the High King, and there is no end to the worries upon which they must dwell as the siege drags on. King Isildur will not trouble to return to Dingarth if he thought our business were unimportant. He must know, as I do, that the forward positions of the Alliance are pushed back. Dingarth will become our only foothold in the Black Land. To face defeat after such a cost to lives and years would be impossible to bear. So, I ask you to gather wood and stone around Dingarth and patch up the fortifications. You will impress King Isildur with the sweat of your brow, and I shall impress him with my foresight and my leadership. Look to the resting soldiers and get them moving. To see such sluggards lazing around will surely offend the king's eyes. Go then, and see that these tasks are done. Well, it appears that even my counterpart had a great number of tasks to do. Now, which should we do first? Well, I suppose make sure that we can return here quickly.
Look upon the battlefield. We shall soon be there.
Oh, that's good to hear. Now, let's get some wood for patching. And... hello?
The conflict seems without end.
The march from Dingarth to Annabelle has become a sad one, and my eyes well up just to think on it. The bodies of our friends and fellow soldiers are strewn about the battlefield, for none have taken the time to give them a proper burial. What haste can there be when our siege has lasted for so long and shows no sign of stopping? We must honor them and show them that they are remembered and died not in vain. The war has taken its toll, and we must keep fighting. Let us give them proper burials. We must take the time for that, at least, or we are no better than the orcs. So I'll need to bury some bodies while I'm going around. Oh, and here is some stone for the walls. Good. Stone and boards. Just leaving this wood around for where someone could trample on it and break it or something like that. That I'm sure Isildur would not be happy if that were the case. Now let's see. Oh, hello. Let us convince him to get up. Fine, fine. Alright, good. That's good to hear. And what do you need?
A task for you, soldier.
This is embarrassing, Fred. The siege has dragged on for so long that Dingarth is no longer the center of the fighting. The war continues further to the east. We have seen fewer and fewer soldiers within those walls. but ours is still a strategic fortification and must be occupied. The attention of the commanders lies elsewhere, however, and some small things have gone neglected. What are these small things? Well, some of the provisions have spoiled, and the meat we kept here in Dingarth is rotted. We do not need our soldiers to be sickened in a turned meal. Go and search for provisions, for any which are gone bad, and dispose of it. You're asking, boy, these must really, really, really be bad rations if you're asking a hobbit to dispose of the food. That's all I gotta say there. Or whatever they call hobbits in these days. Hello. The siege shows no sign of ending. Well, I guess after 7 years, that sounds like it's likely to be the case. Time to get up and get moving. Resting time is over. Yeah, I know, I know. It looks like a pretty long siege. That's the way it always goes. No time for resting. The king's about to arrive. I'm going, I'm going, I'm going. Ah, here's some of the provisions here. These look spoiled. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I got rid of the spoiled food at least. Yeah. Alright, I see why they're not expecting me to eat any of it. Yeah, get rid of that. Yeah. Well, let's see what else we have here. Oh, there's someone who looks like they may want to speak with me. Ah, a dwarf.
King Amroth has sent a list of various items needed at the encampment.
The name is Skirfir, and I keep track of supplies here in Dingarth. It helps me keep me busy enough. King Amroth has sent a list of various items needed at the encampment of Echad Ed Ithil. If you're heading that way, perhaps you could take them with you. And if not, well, I can find someone else, but I won't be happy about it. I know you're going that way. If not today, then probably tomorrow. Look, do me a favor, will you? Okay, fine. I can show you where to look to find anything that Amroth needs. Right, okay. Yeah, alright, fine. Find some supplies for Amroth. Like the ones that are sitting right next to him, I guess. Good, and I will presume that there is more after that. Oh, and oh, hold on. What's this? A stark white page. Wait, this is going to be a lot to read. Whee!
They sought to discourage him, but he would not be daunted. And so, though it pained them, Elrond and Círdan both came forward.
What did they try to discourage him from, I wonder? Oh, speaking of Círdan, here is... He started growing a beard, apparently.
The time for battle is upon us.
I have known war, but I'm not a warrior. No, I have always been, and I will always be, a builder and a sailor of ships. And yet, the call of war must be heeded. So I brought to the Great Alliance my skills as a healer and a bringer of wisdom. I have seen more injured soldiers of late, a greater number than I'm accustomed to treating at once. You have some skill tending the wounded? That's good. I ask that you collect some salves and see to the injured soldiers. Your assistance will greatly be appreciated by both the healers and the healed alike. I suppose it would be. Now let's see if I could. And here is the first of the salves. So I know what the salves look like. Thank you, Kierden, for making the first one easy. There you go. And what have we got here? Supplies. Oh, and not so good supplies. Yeah, I don't think Amroth wants those supplies. Nope, unlikely. I must admit I'm not used to seeing hobbits wearing war paint. Oh well. Now let's see about getting more of these supplies. You'll need a great deal of them to satisfy Amroth. Ah, this should be enough salves to help. Now let's see if we can find anyone who's injured while we are looking for other things. Ah, speaking of injured, there you go. Does this help? Does this help? Hello, does this make you feel any better? Hopefully in the long term it does. Ooh, more of them. At least they're staying together to make it easy to tend them all. But I don't think we want any spoiled food near them. We don't want the smell making them sicker. I've gotten rid of that rotten food.
Look upon the battlefield. We shall soon be there.
You're sure that you've disposed of all the spoiled food? Good, good. I understand that orcs have been known to feast on spoiled and rotten meat, but that's not something Isildur will allow for his own soldiers. And as his esquire, I have taken upon myself to see they do not have to. That was a lot of spoiled food, friend. Do we have any provisions at all left in Dingarth? We will need to do something about that. And what's that?
Look upon the battlefield. We shall soon be there.
Our store of provisions is now quite low, and we will need additional food here at Dingarth as well as the front lines. In order to meet our demands, we must hunt for food, but the small animals of Gondor and Ithilien are not large enough to provide enough meat for our armies. We need an animal with more meat to its bones, and the great beast that is the Sulok of Mordor will provide the nourishment our soldiers require. Go forth and hunt the Sulakil in the Kingsland of Arendor. Alright, fine. I will do some gathering of that after I've finished with what I am doing over here. And looks like we've got another soldier that needs tending. Good. So what do we have here? We still need to help a few more soldiers. Oh yes, and I think I got enough supplies to fix some fortifications. Now let's see if I can find any that are in disrepair. Well, this wall certainly has seen better days. Here you go. Ah! Much, much, much better. Good. Anything else that needs fixing? Ah! Another wall that needs work. There you go. Much, much better. And anything else that needs work? Ah, here's one. Not that I know how much good this wall is going to do, but that's another matter. Now, so that takes care of that. I'm done repairing the walls.
You improved the defenses. Good. Good, and just in time.
I have received word that a patrol of orcs has been spotted to the south, leaving the encampment of Mohsapat. If we don't do something about that, and at once, King Isildur will be most aggrieved. Your work here is not yet done. Hurry to the south and slay the orc band before the king comes to Dingarth. Alright. Head to the south and kill some orcs. Well, I've killed plenty of those in my time here. I presume that there are some orcs around here somewhere. Otherwise, it wouldn't be so urgent, right? Whew. Well, let's see. What have we got here? Oh, hold on. I did see a Sulok. I'm supposed to be collecting some Sulok meat, so I might as well take care of this while I'm out here patrolling for orcs. Now, why did he send a hobbit after this great beast? I don't know. I mean, you would think someone else would have been here. Oh, I'm supposed to be taking care of some bodies, aren't I? Well, let's see. And there's an orc. There you go. Hello. Raging, aren't you? Well, you're not gonna live long enough to rage very long, that's for sure. There you go. Now for you. We're gonna have orcs all over the place, I'm sure of it. Well, at least now I know where the band is at. So I should be able to dispatch them fairly quickly once I find them. That seems to have gotten rid of that band. Now let's investigate the sound of orc voices that are far to the south and see what's going on there. Maybe a whole new army of them is arriving. Oh, we don't need another one, do we? I wonder if these orcs are the ones who slain these warriors. I suppose that's always a possibility. With them around, it's always a possibility. Now, what were we hearing? Oh, hold on. Who's this? Well, looks like this elf did my work for him. Oh, Moggle dear, how about that?
I am afraid you have come too late to join the festivities, friend.
These orcs thought to do some mischief to the Alliance, but they were neither stealthy nor clever enough to escape my notice. They felt the bite of my blade and did not like it. I'm called Moggledeer, and my sword is Orthadel, the Rising Star. I wield it at the command of Gilgalad, and it has proven the undoing of orcs and evil men for the long years of this siege. I hope you do not think me forward, but I have not met one of your kind before. It is a welcome meeting, for I have heard of the valor of the whole Budan, who live in the banks of the great river, cannot be measured by their stature. I am pleased to make your acquaintance, and it is my hope that you will name me friend. My errand today was to scout the southern reaches to report the discovery of anything suspicious, but if I suspect anything now, it is that these orcs should have known better than to come this far west. Even after these long years of siege, they still test the encampments of both men and elves, probing for weaknesses. If they think we can relax our guard, they are mistaken, and we will prove it ever so. You came today from Dingarth? Return there now and relay word of the orc raiding party to whichever leader there has command. These orcs have come to the end of the raiding days and will trouble us no further. Well, that's good to hear. Thank you, Muggle dear. Thank you. Now, back to camp? I've finished tending to the wounded.
Heed my orders.
Did your skill at healing prove up to the challenge, and the wounded begin to recover? Good, good. I'm glad to hear their injuries fade and their spirits improve. Let not this gift of yours go to waste during the years of the siege. Now, I believe I also have some provisions to deliver. I've brought back the meat.
Prepare for battle.
Yes, this meat will do nicely, and there's certainly a great deal of it. Your hunting skills are commendable. I shall have the meat cured and brought to the front line as soon as possible, and the soldiers will dine on Suluk steak. It will be a fine change for them, and they will toast our names in thanks. You're welcome.
Prepare for battle.
Thinking about the steaks quite drove another important matter from mind. What would Isildur say? He would not be happy about it, I will tell you that much. Scouts have learned something of a great importance for the men of Adamel, and the details are contained in this missive. See that it's delivered to Erter in Amabel as quickly as you can. I'm counting on you. I'm sure you are. I'll get the missive. But I do have one more person to report to before I can deal with that missive. And that is right over here. Hello, I am back from the Orc Patrol.
What can you say of the orcs? Dead?
Oh, good, they're dead? But that doesn't matter. Isildur has chosen not to come to Dingarth. This was my opportunity to impress the king of Gondor with my maintenance and the defense, and now it's come to naught. I spoke of Dingarth's importance to the Great Alliance, but it seems Isildur does not agree after all. Instead of a personal visit, he has sent his sons to assess the defenses. His sons only! They can bestow neither land nor title, not while their father lives. Oh boy, yes, all he cares about is the High King. Oh, that's not a bad little helmet there. Thank you very much.
This disrespect cannot stand.
Yes, this respect can't stand. If the king chooses not to meet with me himself, well, I shall extend him the same discourtesy by not meeting with the sons he sent in his stead. You meet them instead, Warden. I find myself otherwise engaged and cannot spare the time to meet with the 3 unproven striplings, sons of the king though they be. One of them stands yonder. Do you see him? He's to the northeast, dressed in green. See what he wants, and why his father did not deign to visit himself. All right, and that son apparently is Isildur. What does Isildur want? Oh. Is this Isildur or the sons of Isildur? Well, we'll find that out in the next episode of A Tale of Two Pine Leaves.